Hey guys, it's Arielle. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. Today I just wanted to give you guys a little update on the bedbug situation in Paris. It's kind of all over the news in France, all over the news internationally on social media, and I have seen a bunch of your comments on my YouTube videos asking me to talk a little bit about what it's like in Paris right now and what is going on. So the point of this video is going to be to tell you factually what has happened, to show you clips of videos that have been taken of bedbug sightings, where they are in Paris and in France, as well as to give you a little recap of what the response has been from all of the stakeholders. We've got the government officials, mayors, metro drivers and the transport operators and all that who have given responses. So yeah, hopefully in today's video I can give you guys a bit of a clear picture on what's going on right now in terms of bedbugs in Paris. The very first time that I heard people talking about bedbugs in Paris was when a pretty viral video went around on TikTok of a woman recounting her experience at a cinema here. She went to the movies and the entire time she was like scratching her back. She was very itchy and she left, looked at her back, and it was covered with bedbug bites. She found them on her clothes and stuff. So as soon as she got home, she said she took everything off, she put it in the washing machine, and she thought she was all good, except that she didn't check her purse. And the next day they had moved from her purse to the rest of the apartment, and boom, there was an infestation. So that's the first time I can remember people talking about this surge of bedbugs in Paris. I think a lot of people saw that video and kind of just assumed that if they didn't go to the movie theaters, they wouldn't be affected, which, as we've seen, is not really the case. The video that I'm showing you guys right now was made by Hugo Decrypte and sort of recounts this whole situation. It is in French, so I'll just give you guys a little summary in English. It explains that at the end of August, many people were reporting having been bit by bedbugs during their film. 4 theaters were noted in particular. You have the MK2 Beaubourg, MK2 Bibliothèque, UGC Châtelet-les-Halles, and UGC Noisy-le-Grand. These are all in Paris. So like I mentioned, following these little viral videos of these bedbug cases in cinemas, everyone kind of thought this is where it would stay because it wasn't really picked up by the widespread media. It was very much a social media event, seeing these bedbug videos from the theaters. But then people started to spot them in other public places like metros and schools and hospitals, and people started to go into a panic. I mean, there is a group of people that are clearly more panicked than others. I would say they're the younger generation of people in Paris who are a lot more on social media. And then you have older people who are a little bit more disconnected, because the most shocking part of this whole bedbug epidemic is actually seeing the videos of bedbugs being spotted. And those are largely being filmed and published on apps like TikTok. And not a lot of the older population in Paris sees those videos or has access to those apps. Now that these cases have been picked up on and are being reported by these larger news networks, we are getting a lot more information and explanation. The resurgence of bedbugs in Paris is largely being attributed to travel and tourism. The deputy mayor of Paris went on to say that every single day 3.6 million people travel to Paris, and the bedbugs don't just stop at the border of the city. This is something that they've noticed since the end of confinement and COVID, people traveling a lot more and bringing these nasty critters around with them. There is also the problem of the fact that bedbugs have built up a tolerance against the chemicals that we use to treat them, making them much stronger and much harder to eradicate. So those two factors are what is being assumed to be increasing the amount of bedbugs that we're seeing in France and in Paris. Now I want to move on and tell you guys more about where exactly these bedbugs are being spotted, and I'm also going to accompany these cases with videos that I would have found online or on TikTok to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I have my laptop here with all the notes that I've made about all the cases that I've been able to read about, so I am going to do a little bit of reading. But the first area that these bedbugs were found in following the movie theater situation was the metro. Probably the most notable and credible case, you could say, was on the 27th of September when a driver on the Metro Line 8 found a bedbug in the driving cabin of his metro. This specific train was then taken off the Metro line for inspection. We've also seen TikToks of people claiming that they've seen these bedbugs on the RER Line A. as well as the Metro Line 7. There has also been a significant amount of school closures, not even just in Paris, but all over the country. On the 27th of September, the Lycée Flora Tristan in Noisy-le-Grand found bedbugs in a classroom, but only a small treatment was done due to a lack of funds. On the 3rd of October, the Collège Josephine Baker in the 3rd arrondissement of Marseille was closed for a bedbug infestation. We also have the École Albert Camus at Villefranche-sur-Saône, which was closed for a first time due to a bedbug infestation from the 18th to the 22nd of September, but it was closed for a second time on the 30th of September for another week of disinfection due to the fact that the first time did not eradicate the bedbugs. On the 5th of October, bedbugs were found in 14 different rooms in the Lycée Elisa Lemonnier, which is in the 12th arrondissement of Paris.
Qui est infesté de punaises de lit.
Ces profs refusent d'aller travailler au lycée en raison de punaises de lit. Des nuisibles ont été retrouvés dans plusieurs salles du lycée Elisa Lemonnier, dans le 12e arrondissement de Paris.
On apprend quoi ce matin? Que finalement, il y a 14 salles de classe et 8 autres bureaux qui sont infestés.
Le rectorat a alors annoncé qu'une désinfection des salles concernées est prévue lundi soir. Il estime qu'il n'y a pas de risque majeur à ce stade, mais les professeurs ne sont pas d'accord.
The parents and teachers of the school asked for the school to be closed during treatment, but the Regional Health and Safety Agency refused, saying that there is no risk to their health. We've also seen hospital closures. On September 6th, the ER at the hospital in Boulogne-sur-Mer had to be closed because they were victim of a bedbug infestation, which they could not get rid of after 3 separate treatments. On October 4th, a patient filmed bedbugs crawling all over his hospital bedroom at the Hôpital de Purpan in Toulouse. And finally, we've also got the train. On the 24th of September, bedbugs were spotted by a passenger on a train from Paris to Marseille, and it was confirmed by staff on board. Passengers were offered a complete reimbursement of their tickets because of this. Now, I do just want to say that these are far from every single case of closure and infestation in Paris and in the country. A lot of the cases are reported on social media, and there is a time of delay between when people take action to treat them and when media sources pick up on them. So unless you see the viral video on TikTok, on Instagram before it's picked up by the media, then you don't really have a way of documenting every single case. But these are cases that I was able to find literally reported on by media sources, reputable media sources. Now, let's talk about how government representatives have responded to the situation. On the 29th of September, we have the first deputy mayor of Paris, Emmanuel Grégoire, who wrote to the Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne asking for help and for an action plan to fight against these bedbugs, especially with the 2024 Olympic Games coming up. It is estimated that 11% of households in France have bedbugs. In his press release, Grégoire noted that cases of infestation have increased significantly in recent weeks. Professional treatment companies are reporting that their rate of intervention in private homes is atypical compared to the usual and growing strongly. We do have a number here as well. There is approximately a 65% increase compared to last year. He's also asking that low-income homes have the cost of disinfection covered. Now, this is a very important point because Grégoire famously said, "No one is safe," which I think is a quote that really did hit international media. But he is right in that statement that bedbugs don't affect by class. They are indifferent to cleanliness, they're indifferent to hygiene, they're indifferent to how much money you make. They attack anyone with blood, right? And the difference is if you attack a high-income household, that family is far more likely to be able to afford treatment and also replacing anything that's been infested. But when a lower income family or household is hit, not only do they not have the money for the treatment, which can be in the thousands of euros, but they also don't have the funds to replace all the infected furniture and all the clothes that have bed bugs in them. So when we don't help people who can't afford treatment, the bed bugs just continue to spread. We do have to make sure that we're supporting people who can't necessarily afford treatment if we do want this problem to be gone. And I do think it was really interesting. There was a politician called François Ruffin, who is a deputy for La France Insoumise. He made a post on Instagram showing how the city of Paris dealt with bedbugs in 1964. I'll put the clip on the screen. But what it shows is that the city hall had a hotline that you could call and you could report your bed bugs, and within 24 hours, they would pick up your mattress, treat your mattress, and return it to you. So it really is showing the collective effort to help everyone solve the problem of their bed bugs in their home so that the problem of the entire city is resolved. And I think it's very interesting to see the reaction in 1964 versus the reaction and the support being provided today. On October 3rd, we got a response from the RATP, which is the state-owned public transportation operator and maintainer headquartered in Paris. They confirmed that no cases had been proven on any of their equipment, metro, RER, tram, or bus. This, when it came out, was a little bit laughable since there are so many videos that have shown the bed bugs in the Parisian metro system. So that one was laughable. And then on October 4th, Clément Beaune, who is the Minister of Transportation in France, brought together transport operators for an emergency meeting on bed bugs, and here were the conclusions. Number one, he asked operators to publish their findings every 3 months. These findings include how many bed bug sightings and reports they received, and how many actually panned out to be cases of bed bugs in the transportation areas, the metro, the RER, all that kind of stuff, as well as publishing their cleaning protocols. And he also asked operators to improve their cleaning protocols and to intervene faster with, for example, sniffer dogs. My opinion is that this emergency meeting was very light. It didn't really provide any concrete information or solutions to Parisians. Again, it was almost laughable in that it was like this big emergency meeting and nothing really came out of it. I do think that this reporting your findings every 3 months is not really taking the situation seriously, but that's just my 2 cents. So yeah, there you have it. That's sort of a summary of everything that's happened, as well as the government responses that we've received up to this point. I do just want to give my own perspective on what I'm seeing going on in this city right now. Like I said, I really do think there is a divide between people who are on social media and people who aren't. People who are, seeing the clips of the bed bugs are definitely more aware and more afraid of the situation. People who aren't on TikTok or on Instagram really aren't as panicked by everything that's going on. I asked Jean to take a video of his trip in the metro this morning, and you can see people are sitting on the seats and no one is really bothered. I don't ever take the metro. I literally bike everywhere in Paris, so I can't really say that I have seen these bed bugs in the public transportation. But what I can say is that this is very similar to how COVID started a couple years ago, with people being panicked and very hyper vigilant. Because I am a bike girly, I use the DeliFB bike system in Paris. It's like a city bike sharing system. It is almost impossible to find working bikes nowadays because everyone who can is avoiding the metro and is taking the bikes. And people have also established very preventative measures in their homes. For example, taking off all your outdoor clothes and putting them in garbage bags and on your balcony when you get home. Everyone is into the essential oils treatment. I mean, in my elevator, it literally smells like an explosion of citronella and lavender, which people are using to ward off the bed bugs. I've canceled my Thanksgiving party because I don't want people coming into my house and I don't want the risk of bed bugs potentially coming in with them. The reason why I make the comparison to COVID is because bed bugs are invisible. You can't really see them unless they are attacking you and sucking your blood, right? Like they hide in the wood, they hide in the mattress, they hide in the outlets. So there is this fear of the unknown, fear of what you can't see. And it feels very similar to what it was when there was COVID, right? Because you couldn't necessarily see the virus in the air. You couldn't see people who were infected. And so you just sort of lived in this fear of the invisible. And that's exactly how it feels today. For the moment, Jean and I don't have any bed bug bites, and we don't appear to have any bed bugs in our household. We don't know anyone personally who has bed bugs in Paris right now, but we do know a friend of a friend who does or who has found them in her apartment. So there you go, the 11% that have it. We're lucky for the moment we don't. We're trying to take as many precautionary measures as we can, but Who knows? I will say that as someone who has previously had bed bugs, I had them in my student apartment like years and years ago, they are a nightmare. They are truly a nightmare. The only way that my landlord was able to get rid of the bed bugs was to have everyone leave the building and have a company come in to heat literally the entire building from top to bottom in order to kill the bed bugs. Like, they were heated for days, like days and days at a time, okay? The building had to reach a temperature high enough for long enough to kill these bed bugs. And this was after months and months of trying to treat them while we were living in the apartment. So I do know how hard it is to get rid of bed bugs. I really hope I don't get them. To anyone coming to Paris in the coming weeks or months, I don't know what to say other than to be really careful, be extremely vigilant. Always check the mattress no matter where you're staying. Leave your luggage in the bathroom. Try and avoid sitting on the metro. I just can't even imagine what kind of nightmare it would be to catch these bed bugs in Paris and bring them home with you. But that is the end of today's video. I will keep you guys updated on my situation and on any other developments, whether it's a government procedure that they roll out or new cases that develop. And please do let me know down below if you guys have any questions about what's going on. I'll do my best to answer them. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was useful for you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next one.